Hello, everybody, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and this is my podcast all about knitting, and that's about it. And a lot of talking. Um, I want to welcome, whether this is your first time or you've been here many, many, many times, I want to welcome each and every one of you. You are all so special to me. I'm sorry, I'm holding the phone in one hand, so I usually do this while I'm sitting on the floor, and due to circumstances, I can't sit on the floor. So I could sit on the floor, but I couldn't get back up again. Anyways, today is August 24th, and this is episode 256. You can find me online on YouTube, Blogger, Facebook, and WordPress as Naturally Kim's Knitting. And you can find me on Ravelry as my own as NapiersKnits, but then we have a Naturally Kim's Knitting podcast group where we usually have lots of craft-alongs. And then you can also find me on Instagram as knittin_Kim. I do want to let you know I am an affiliate with Nitpicks and Michaels. So if you could just hop on over to ksnapier475.blogspot.com and click a link before you shop at one of those two places, I would surely appreciate it. Okay, now I said that one of the reasons for joining in with on our Ravelry groups because we have craft-alongs. Well, we have two going on right now. We almost always have two going on. Sometimes we have three if I go crazy, but right now it's two. So we have a July and August craft-along, finished object craft-along. All you have to do for this is finish an object in any craft, take a picture of it, post it under the correct thread, and if there's a pattern name, go ahead and put it with it. And then on on September 1st, I will draw for prizes. Now, depending how many entries I have, right now I'm going to say that I'm going to have two $10 nitpicks or Michael's gift cards, or a giftable pattern valued up to $10. So that's either a $10 gift card to Michael's or a $10 gift card to Nitpicks, and there'll be two of those for people to choose from. Only $10 value though, okay? Or a pattern. First person that responds gets to choose the first prize and so on. So if somebody were to pick two patterns, then those would be gone. Okay, if two people pick a pattern, then those would be gone. I'm making this sound like, your prize is only worth $10. I don't know why I'm having troubles getting words. The words are not there today. Then, our other craft along is RowRowandKades and or any accessory. So, excuse me. Once again, if you whether you're doing a pattern from RowRowandKades or if you're doing an accessory, take a picture of it when you're finished, post it under the correct thread, and you'll be eligible for, I don't think I changed this. Nope, I didn't. For $15 gift card to Michael's or Nitpicks or one RowRowandKades pattern or one Mila Knit Corner pattern. Okay? And once again, I'd really appreciate it if you pick a gift card, if you could go through my blogger page and use it, because then I get a couple pennies and, it helps with all kinds of stuff. There are times when I do mail things or, sorry, or whatever. Anyways, or to help pay for the prizes overall. So, first person to respond gets the choice of the prize, and then second, and so on. Okay, for all of my craft alongs, the winners have 2 weeks to claim their prizes and if from the time I announce it. So if I put this out on September 1st, you'll have until the 14th to respond. Otherwise, the prize gets put back in the hopper for the next time. Now, is there anything else? Oh, and if you would ever have it fall upon your heart that you would want to donate a prize, just let me know and we'll figure it out. Okay, and you may wonder, why in the world am I offering a Mila's Knit Corner pattern? Well, because starting September 1st through October 31st, we're going to have a Mila Knit Corner and or something with red in it. So, if you choose the Mila's Knit Corner pattern, you can start working on it for the next craft along. Then I should let you know, and that's for September, October. Then November, December, we're going to do knitting for others in this category. Okay? So what do I have on my needles? I will tell you this is going to be difficult to do because I'm holding the phone with one hand. Okay. Because I've only been knitting, again, really starting this week. I mean, I've done some last week, but most of it's been this week. There we go. Advent sock. I made it that far in it. I just started that basically. Actually, that's 2 days worth of knitting. We'll talk about more about that later. But then I also have, ta-da, one of my socks. I only have one of them out. I'm only showing you the things I'm actually working on. So this is I don't have the yarn name with me. It's in my bag, which has the other sock in it, and I wasn't going to bring it over. I've been talking about it. I will let you know again next week. I'm hoping to get back to every week again now that medical issues have been taken care of. Anyway, it's just a straight knit sock until you get to the cuff, and then it's a knit 2, purl 2, and then when I get to the very edging, it's a knit 1, purl 1. I do that for 20 rows. So that's one of my socks. I've been so happy I've been able to knit on that because I go crazy when I don't knit. I've been reading, but I just, not been able to do a lot of other things. I've not been able to work on a soup kitchen sock. I'm going to be starting one hopefully soon. I don't want to overwhelm myself. And my Every Which Way filet baby blanket for the hospital. I've not been up to crocheting yet. I'm figuring I better do knitting, get to crocheting later. Needless to say, I have no finished objects because I've not been knitting until recently. Oh my goodness, I didn't write down the books I've been reading. This is horrible. One is a book on bravery. I need to get the titles, and they will be on my reading, writing, and so much more on Blogger. If you're interested, one of them is talking to teenagers about sex, and I just wanted to get that because I wanted to see, never felt really good about. I don't know that any parent feels like they did a really good job of talking with their kids about that, but this book, it covers areas I wouldn't have thought about, but in a Christian way. And they have conversation starters. So it's a good book, and it is a Christian book. And the other one I have is, I can't remember the title of it, but it's Devotions or Prayers to Help Girls Become Brave. And, most of them you can use for grandson or sons or boys too, but, it's a really good book. Both of them. Okay. Enough of all that. I don't have a whole bunch to talk about. Well, okay. I don't have a lot of knitting to talk about. I got other stuff. Before I forget, though, let me go to Nitpicks. They're still having their bear yarn on sale. When you buy it in bulk, 15% off. Books are 40% off, and they have Felici. Now, if any of you know about Felici, it is a beautiful self-striping yarn that Nitpicks has. Oh, love this yarn. Um, but it goes fast. It is lovely yarn. Um, So it's back and it's in the stores. At least when I looked this morning, it was. And then Michaels, they're having a 20% off regular price purchases with a code, and their code is on their first page. So when you go to Michaels, it will have it up on the top in a bar. Then they're right now, they are having 50% off of all of their yarns. You know, as crafty people, this is at Michaels. Check them out. If you've never been to Michael's, or if you don't have a Michael's near you, they all, oh, I see, I don't have a Michael's in town, but when I'm in California, I go to the one close to my daughter's all the time. And oh, I love Michael's. I love Michael's. I love Hobby Lobby. I love Joann's. We have Hobby Lobby and Joann's in town, but they are very hard to become um, affiliates with. So, you know. Okay. So now, as many of you know, I've not been able to post regularly for quite a while, and a lot of that has had to do with pain. Um, I did have my shoulder replacement replaced, and I'm going to do this without crying. I have been in pain for at least a year and a half, if not longer. And when I say pain, I mean they always ask you on a pain scale from 0 to 10. And if 10 is walking in the emergency room, holding your arm in your hand, you know. And I would say my pain quite often has been a 7 or an 8. I came out of surgery. Discomfort, yes, because there was a lot of packing and you have to wear a sling. Um, but pain, no. And it wasn't till I went to go to sleep that night and I had to figure out how to arrange my shoulder that it did go up to, I want to say, a 2 or a 3. Amazing. And I've been exercising. I've been going to occupational therapy for a few weeks now, doing the exercises 3 times a day. And, you know, they've added new ones last week. So, yeah, there's a little discomfort, not pain. It's amazing. And I know many of you out there have been praying for me. And I've had prayers all over. I went to um, arranged with my pastor one time to have the elders in our church, that's our church board, come and pray over me before my surgery. And I'm a high believer in prayer. In fact, it was funny because right before I wanted to have my husband pray, we always pray before I go to surgery. Um, hey, I pray when I see ambulances or if I see police sirens or whatever. I pray. Um, but we hadn't prayed yet, and they were getting ready to wheel me out of the room. I said, wait a minute. I said, Randy, you got to come here and pray with me. And so he prayed with me, and it's been great. I mean, I still can't I can only lift a pound, no more than a pound. Um, they said, even when it comes to like your refrigerator door, do not open that with your right hand. So Randy has been, bless his heart, he has been good as gold with me and treating me like a princess. And he's had to do everything for me. Now you think about what you do with your right arm or your right hand. And now, say you don't have it, or say you can't use it. Those are the things my husband had to do for me. So, bless his heart. He has not complained once. He's worked from home, and, you know, respect, because if it weren't for his job, If he didn't have this job, he might not have been able to do the things he could. But because of his job and because everybody at his work understands too, he's been able to work from home. Um, Today, let's see, I was trying to think. He had a golf outing for half a day, 2 days in a row. That was like a trial run because we knew that yesterday he would have to go to the office, and then today there's a new one of his stores opening in Carmel, Indiana. They opened last week. My husband doesn't miss grand openings. He did for me because he wanted to make sure I was doing okay. But he and his boss drove over there today. Now, it's quite a drive. They drove over there today and they're going to drive back tonight because he still doesn't want to leave me overnight. Bless his heart. God has blessed me in so many ways. This is why I haven't posted lately. Pain, shoulder replacement, all that jazz. And then the last time I talked to you guys, I didn't have air conditioning. Well, our anniversary was on August 18th, 42 years. On the 18th, they came and they started replacing our furnace. And then the next 2 days, they finished that and they worked on our heat pump. And so we have got cool air in here. Now, I still we usually sleep with it on, but then I get up first thing in the morning and turn it off, open up everything, and enjoy the fresh air for a little while. But yeah, it's been a blessing. It's been a wonderful thing. Sorry, my show notes are on my lap, and I can't figure out why they just did what they did. Um, so yay, air conditioning. Oh, I know what else is on my list of things to talk about. It's frustrating in a way. We have the most beautiful garden this year. Um, Conditions have been just right up until I think it was 2 weeks ago, because I think I still had my big bulky sling on, and I had no business going out there. But we had a big windstorm, and our corn was just about ripe. So I had to go out there, and I had to see what I could do because my husband couldn't. And wasn't anything I could do. But yeah, so I put out a little shout out to people telling them, we have corn, we have tomatoes. Nobody can have my green beans. We're going to can our green beans. We have sunflowers galore. Um, can't think what else we have. Spaghetti squash. We have, did our watermelon come up? We had pickling. We had cucumbers, but my husband didn't buy the pickling cucumbers. He bought the slicing. And they just never quite, they don't make as good at pickles. Cherry tomatoes. Oh, for some reason, Randy bought me 2 or 3 tomato plants this year. And then we always have a volunteer plant pop up right outside our garage because we have brick. And they love to grow there, and they are so beautiful. So I have had so many cherry tomatoes that I can't eat. We have big tomatoes. Then we have Roma tomatoes. My husband loves those. I've just peppers. Oh, I have banana peppers, which I'm going to pickle as soon as I can, as soon as I get my help from my husband. Yeah, so we have got a bountiful harvest, and wouldn't you know it? Last year I wasn't home, as many of you know. I was out in California with my daughter for 4 months, so I missed harvest season last year, and this year I'm here. And when we put the garden in, or when we bought the seeds and everything, at that time my surgery was supposed to be in March. So by canning season, I was going to be pretty much healed. Instead, surgery was July 30th. And so all my canning and freezing time, except I have to tell you, I'm sorry, guys. If I should have told you this is Gabby time. If you don't want to hear me gab, go ahead. You won't offend me. So knowing I'm not what I am and am not allowed to do, my husband picked a big old bag of corn for me to figure out how to work with on Saturday. can't think where he was on Saturday. Oh, I know where he was. Okay. So I learned that I used my knees as a vise, and I gripped them, and I just ripped down the leaves, and then I flip them over and take the leaves the rest of the way off, take off the stem, and he set up all my water and everything. I like to freeze my corn. So I would, and we have a stove and a refrigerator out in our barn. So I'd heat the water up. I'd put my corn in. I had a big thing of cold water, and he brought me a big bag of ice. So I was able to keep the water cold, put the corn in there, and I was able to get in the freezer bag, not using my right arm. If my therapists could hear this, they would be totally amazed. I keep telling them, I really want this shoulder to work, so I'm. Oh, yeah, my next thing is my baking husband, because we've also had a bountiful harvest of um, black raspberries. I have to think, because we have blackberries, we have black raspberries, and we've just started a couple red raspberries. We used to have, sorry, that's my phone giving me notifications about things. Um, we lost our other red raspberries. So he's been baking almost, well, he made um, black raspberry jam. And then he's baked raspberry pies every weekend. He's made a couple, and I just sit there and go, well, he bought the crusts. I don't even make pie crusts, but so he bought the crust, but he made the pies, and I've been tickled pink. So, hey, he's a peach. Okay, then county fair. That's my next thing to talk about. This week was county fair, or this week is county fair. And it usually once every couple years it takes it doesn't take place around our anniversary. Well, this year it started a couple days after our anniversary, but and we talked before my surgery. Do you think I'll be able to go to county fair? Because I didn't go last year. I was in California. 2 years ago, we had a big 40th anniversary party, and that evening I didn't want to be on my feet anymore. So my husband and his father went to the fair, and they brought me back fair food. But this year it got to be Friday, and usually Randy and I watch a movie, and I told him, you know what? How about if we go to the fair? He goes, great idea. So we just walked around. I sat when I would needed to. They had rain right before, which I don't know how it didn't hit us. It missed us, but they had rain right before, which isn't unusual for us in county fair. They almost always have rain, usually every day, and they haven't this year. They could be getting some tonight. But we got to see all the exhibits, the junior. So for those of you who don't know, we have they're called Junior Fair, 4-H Junior Fair, um, Junior Fair, and they also have places where adults can enter things, and they have livestock, and so we walked around, and there's this one school close by, and they have the best chicken meals. So we had our supper there, and then on down the way was homemade ice cream. They always had that there. So we got a dish of homemade ice cream, and then we walked it off basically. Well, last year I couldn't have gone to a fair anyways with COVID. We were very happy that they had it this year, but I was still kind of surprised, even with the vaccines and everything, how many people were not wearing masks. And there were times, if you're waiting in line, like we didn't need to, we never had anybody in line ahead of us, but there wasn't really any social distancing, which that all made me a little bit nervous, but we really didn't stay that long, and we didn't get close to too many people. So, anyways, I think that's about it. I'm going to try and talk to you next week. I don't know how much more knitting I'll have done, but whatever it is, it'll be more than what I've got done already. Maybe I'll be able to work on that blanket. Who knows? Anyways, do me a favor. If you like this, push the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, please do that. And if you wouldn't mind sharing it, you know, I love supporting the crafters that I see their videos on YouTube. I watch Geeky Girls. I watch RowRow and Kades, of course. Hers is every 2 weeks. Um, oh, I can't even think. The Knitting Expat. I've got so many that I watch that, and I always go down and I push the like. And usually I send a response to them. If you want to do that, I love them, but I'm not going to force anybody to, send a response, unless you want to ask me a question or, you know, tell me about your fairs or tell me about anything that's been going on with your life. Anyways, I love reading them, and you guys are mean the world to me. So, anyways, I will let you go. I don't know how I'm going to do this ending. I hope all of you guys have a great week. I hope all your craftiness is successful. I hope you don't have any mistakes in it, but if you do, I hope they're little ones, easy and are easy to fix. I love you. Great big hugs. Take care, and God bless. Bye bye.